Welcome back to Futurekron, where I give my psychic insights into just about everything, including unsolved mysteries that haunt us to this day. If you caught my video from February of 2023 on unsolved crimes, you might remember the discussion on 3 significant cases, with one particularly haunting story, the mysterious disappearance of Madeleine McCann. In case you missed it, here it is again, so take a listen. In 2007, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann vanished from her family's holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal. Despite a massive international investigation, no trace of her has ever been found, and to this day, her parents have denied any wrongdoing. This case has really bothered me from the beginning, and I shied away from it because of the nature of the crime. But there's one thing for sure, and that is I've never wavered on what I think happened to this child. I believe she was murdered by her father, and her mother disposed of the body. It's just that simple. The father, Jerry, had an explosive temper and just went crazy, beating the little child in the head. I suspect that he had what experts call intermittent explosive disorder, which can actually be treated. In any case, he did a lot more to the child's head, which I really can't specify here because it's incredibly gruesome. So the damage to the child's body would have been so overwhelming that the parents would have had to concoct a story, and this is where Mom came in. Upon realizing what her husband had done, Kate, the child's mother, took control. She put the child's small body in a large suitcase and rolled her out to the car where she loaded her inside. From there, she was able to find what appears to be some sort of storm drain in a remote area and put her body there, being careful not to leave the suitcase. Now, if you're screaming that it's not fair that I accuse these parents who have worked tirelessly to keep the hope of finding their daughter alive, I say, gee, perhaps they shouldn't have been so careless with the welfare of their young child in the first place, especially while on vacation in a foreign country. Furthermore, these two have been suspects in this case, and many who still follow their public appearances just aren't buying their story. Sadly, I don't believe that the child's remains will ever be recovered. That is until Kate eventually confesses, and she will.
The witness told police that Christian B. had confessed he was the abductor of missing Madeleine McCann. In 2017, he became the main suspect. He still is.
Portuguese police have told BBC Panorama they have apologised to the parents of Madeleine McCann for the way they handled the case.
Despite the fact that in 2022, a German prosecutor seemed certain that prime suspect, Christian Bruckner, a convicted rapist and child sex abuser, was most certainly the man behind the disappearance of the 3-year-old, no one has been charged with the crime to this day. Likewise, in June of 2023, 3 months after my original post, items were found around a reservoir area approximately 31 miles from the hotel where Madeleine was last seen. However, there is no word that these items are related to the case, and psychically speaking, I don't see a connection there either. With all of these dead ends in mind, many agree that the only way to bring closure to this case is for someone to come forward with a confession. As I noted previously, I do believe that Kate will come forward a few years down the road. But there are some interesting twists and turns in the meantime that will help prod her along. In the next 3 years, I anticipate Kate and Jerry will part ways and divorce. For the most part, they're already leading separate lives, so this is just the final nail in their marriage's coffin. Once their now teenage twin daughters transition into adulthood and move out, Kate will have ample time for introspection. However, personal reflection alone won't prompt her to speak out. Around 4 years from now, or by around the 2028 to 2029 timeframe, I foresee new evidence resurfacing that will refocus attention on the couple, and in particular, Kate. Where will this evidence come from? If you recall in my original prediction, I mentioned that Kate was the one who removed her child's body from the hotel room. A room, mind you, that a cadaver dog from the United Kingdom detected body fluids on the child's toy, a toy which the McCanns subsequently washed clean. When Kate removed her child and placed her underneath a bridge, she did sit for a while with the child's remains, and even made a marking on the wall, perhaps a cross. It is this area that someone will stumble upon within the next 4 years, leading to the discovery of some evidence that will reopen this case and put the spotlight back on Kate and ultimately Jerry. But this is a very long, drawn-out process that could take up to 10 years before anyone is put behind bars. So the bottom line is we still have a few more years ahead of us before this case is finally resolved. But rest assured, the universe has a wonderful way of bringing karma back to where it belongs. If you have an unsolved crime that you'd like me to take a look at in an upcoming episode, or if you'd like to share your own insights into this case, be sure to post them below. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification for more. And as always, thanks for listening.
Does one of these things in itself prove anything? You're correct. No, it doesn't. But it is the entirety of the evidence, the entirety of all the behaviors, the entirety of all the statements. And, so you put all of this together, and that's where the theory develops. Now, if you look at the theory of an abduction, there's just nothing. There is absolutely nothing to support an abduction at all. Not one shred of evidence. No behaviors, no physical evidence, nothing. Yet that's what Scotland Yard was running after for 6 years and coming up with nothing, because there is no evidence of that.